Today we'll be looking at governance in Enugu State. Because by May 29th, the current administration will be marking their 2-year in office. But let me just give a brief rundown, then we can take it off from there. Governance is the process and structure by which decisions are made and enforced within an organization or society. This is according to AI overview. Therefore, every government is adjudged to be carrying out good governance when they have been able to transform their thoughts, especially their campaign promises and decisions, into realities that will benefit the masses. In this exclusive interview with Barrister Nnenna, a public affairs analyst, we assess the efforts of the current administration in the state to improve the life of the Enugu within these 2 years. Barrister, first you have to introduce yourself properly with your correct portfolios so that we can take it off from there.
Okay, thank you so much, my dear. I was waiting to hear your name too, so you haven't introduced yourself.
All right, that'll be done,
okay,
right?
Okay, so my name is Nnenna Anozie. I'm a legal practitioner based in Enugu State, and also, like you rightly say, the public affairs analyst. The founder of Nnenna Anozie Foundation. I also work as the National Director of Programs, League of Women Voters of Nigeria. I am currently the Financial Secretary of African Women Lawyers Association, and in the state I'm the Deputy Coordinator of African Women Lawyers Association, among so many other things I do. So thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure being here wherever I am called upon to speak.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, I remain Chinwendo Ifeonwankwo, Aneke TV reporter, presenter. Thank you. Stay tuned. You're welcome. Okay, on today's show, just as we have just run down the brief of what we'll be looking at, I would like you to give us an overview. What do you think? How do you feel assessing this current government for these 2 years? Are you satisfied?
Thank you so much. Ndi Enugu, I greet you, and of course, like I said, I'm in Enugu. I'm from Enugu. I've been in Enugu. Even if I travel, I just travel and come back. Like I was away for African Women's Summit in Egypt, Cairo, just last week, and I'm back. So Enugu Bunkai, Enugu Bunkai.
Yes.
So the truth is that even the blind can see what is happening in Enugu. The deaf can hear what is happening in Enugu. Peter Mbah's administration for these past 2 years, if you ask me, hasn't been bad. Yes, I'm speaking objectively now. It hasn't been bad because we are seeing some development, some infrastructural development, the road. In fact, I was telling my boy as we were coming here that our governor now, that what that means is that it's like he's a voracious worker. You know, the way people eat food voraciously. So that is how he's actually working in Enugu. Last 2 weeks, on the 8th and 9th, I had a program at the International Conference Center. And I mean, you need to be there. It's amazing. So for those of us who have been here for the past how many years, and we are seeing what we are seeing today, I'm seeing a lot of transformation. When I passed through the presidential hotel, I've been there when it was presidential hotel, I've lodged there. So whenever I pass through there and I see it in that dilapidated form, I mean, I weep for a place I have been and I've enjoyed some, beautiful things there. So going back now and seeing how that place is being rebuilt, and I mean, it gives me joy. So I give it to him. Kudos to our governor. So far, so good. These 2 years, he hasn't done so badly. But of course, maybe in the course of the of the interview, we can delve into more things. But the truth is that he hasn't done so badly for these 2 years. We've seen road infrastructure, there's water in some places, even though he had said in 180 days water will be everywhere. It's not everywhere. Water is not yet everywhere in Enugu State, but at least they have started. Then when you come to the issue of beautification of Enugu State, I mean, when you, especially within the rural and the urban areas, you can see that a lot of things are, a lot of things is really, really going on well. I just saw the terminal at Gariki that's about to be launched, and I'm like, wow, this is wonderful. And recently I was told that they were trying to recruit workers, drivers, and etiquetters for, what do they call it, these CNG buses. So these are the things I believe will help alleviate the economic hardship and the ugly situation of citizens of Nigeria who are in the Enugu. So I think so far so good. A lot of infrastructural development, road, we are going here, there's road construction everywhere going on, both in the rural and urban areas. So I give it to him for now. I give it to him. We are not saying he's 100% perfect. We are not saying everything is now okay, because we have not delved into areas of employment, job opportunities for, especially for our teeming youth, the young ones. So we'll still go into that. Women inclusion. Of course, I can't talk about it. I'm sure even the cameraman will know that there's no way I can finish speaking here without talking about women inclusion in governance, because it's part of your nation cannot develop when your women are relegated to the background. So we'll talk about that to examine how far he has also fed in inclusion and all of that. So let me not preempt your questions.
Thank you very much. You've
welcome.
really done a wonderful overview. This is more than a brief. You've really touched every area. But having touched this area, so it will not be like a repetition.
Yes.
Let's continue. In the course of your briefing us on thus far he has fed, you pointed water, and I know that it's part of his campaign promises.
Yes.
Because Enugu, if you are actually an Enugu person, whether born and bred, whether an indigenous, you know that one issue we have here is water.
Yeah.
And he assured us while he was campaigning that water will actually flow. And let me not go in. So what can you say about that?
So
Take it from there.
Well, thank you so much. Like in as much as I've given him a lot of kudos to what he has been doing and has continued to do, we are seeing it, we are telling him well done. But of course, they will say promise is a promise. He came with that full force. There was this boldness. I looked at him, I watched him say it, that we should just give him 180 days. Water will flow everywhere. So I was optimistic. I was looking forward to it. But as you can see and I can see, water is not flowing everywhere in Enugu State. So what does that tell you? I'm not saying they are not making efforts. They are making effort. I am aware that there are some areas that now have water. But the truth is that the speed is very small. It's very slow. So they need to speed it up. 180 days, of course, it's been far gone. We are not holding him on that again, but at least we want him to prioritize this issue of water, because we can't continue to pay the kind of tax we pay in Enugu State, the kind of rent people pay in Enugu State, the cost of living in Enugu State, and you not have water. Water is life. What can we do? When you say you live in a township, it's expected you have access to water, good water, road and electricity. So these are the things that make up a city. If you say we are living in an urban area in a city, we should enjoy water, we should enjoy light, and of course good roads. So our governor is doing well, especially in the area of constructing of road, every other infrastructural development. But let us have water. We need to let him know that water is not flowing in all the urban areas. He should do something about it. Very, very. It's an urgent call. It's an urgent call.
This time we'll be looking at transportation system or services. The CNG buses, soon they will be launched, and going by what we are seeing in those states, of course we know that they will be plying the major routes in the state. So what is the fate of these commuters, the kekes and all these small buses that have been plying, that have been on the road before their entrance? Yeah. Yes. So let me not put words into your mouth.
Okay,
Please take it up
I
from there.
wanted to ask if they will not go out of business and
What
all
will
of that.
be their
No,
fate?
of course, we need development. And the truth is that our people are suffering. They need a relief. So if the coming of the CNG buses will give them relief, it should be a welcome development, irrespective of the fact that maybe I remember in the time of I think in the administration of Sullivan Chile, we had what we call the Sullivan's taxi, Sullivan's buses and all of that. It didn't stop others from plying the road. There are still some people who have money to enter. I want to believe that the CNG buses will be for the low income earners, people who can't afford those regular ones, so they can use that. It's just to make life easier and better for the poor masses, for the common man. All right, just like talking about housing, which is another area that the government has not even looked into, where you need to see how we can decongest the city by expanding and building houses. It will also help in making sure that these landlords and the agents who hike the prices of rent, who do anything they like to innocent citizens in the name of agents and landlords, will stop. And the government cannot say, oh, because if we now build houses, landlords will not have people who will patronize them, therefore let us not build houses. No, houses should be built for the low income earners so that they can have access to shelter. The same thing on transportation. We can have as low as if ordinary keke, the regular kekes and other buses are collecting, let's say 200 naira from Gariki to New Market, the CNG buses can collect 100 or 50, and that it is acceptable in every world, even in other developed countries. You see that everybody, all hands are not equal. There are still people who queue and wait for train while others use taxi, while others, in fact, the country I went to last 2 or 3 weeks, I discovered that if you want to be using their taxi, you pay so much. So I use Uber, it was cheaper.
Okay.
Then some places I use their metro because it was cheaper. So you look for the one that will be very, very cheaper for you
And convenient
for you. Even if it's not convenient but it's cheaper. You go for it, because that is what I believe, that is the vision or the mindset or the motive behind the CNG bus. It will consume less what does he use now? Gas. Yes. And then of course the price will be far cheaper than that of the regular buses and kekes. So we cannot, government cannot stop bringing initiatives because of the people. Just like when we are talking about water, they say, oh, what will happen to tanker drivers? So because of tanker drivers will remain in perpetual darkness? No, that is not fair at all. It is the citizens that should be prioritized, their benefits, their joy, their comfort, because we are practicing democracy, which is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So it is a people-centered policy that should come first, not what whoever is gaining or losing from
shouldn't
wherever.
Be a selfish interest thing.
Shouldn't.
Okay, thank you very much. You really addressed it, because at a point I started seeing fears. I said, who knows what will become the fate of these people if these buses are everywhere and the rest of it. Okay, thank you for addressing it that way. Please, can you quickly, before our time will be off, say something on agriculture? What is government doing? Is the government there? What are they doing? What extent?
Okay, so I'm aware that, because I also work in the civil society organization, I'm aware that there are some efforts of the government towards that area. I saw some tractors the other time, and some other initiatives of the government to see that agriculture is brought to the fore for the people. But my worry is that I don't think it's enough, because the truth is that the future is agriculture. We cannot do without food. We need to encourage our young ones. It will boost our economy, it will boost employment, and give access to more food, because food crisis, I mean, go to the market to see what is happening. And with the current kidnapping and all of these things going on in the farm, people are scared to work. So you can't be talking about agriculture without talking about security, without talking about the right equipment to help, because we can't continue to depend on our little no, we've gone past that. Our governor said he wants to have a smart city. Time will fail us to talk about education. The smart education was in one of the communities in Enugu, Mburumbu, precisely on Saturday. That saw the beautiful smart school there. So he has that good vision for Enugu, for Ndi Enugu. But what we want to know is, how will all of these things be? Will you have enough time? And then your successors, will they be able to continue? What's your sustainability plans for all of this? So the area of agriculture is something that they should take seriously. The Commissioner for Agriculture should work with these young people. Now they are talking about smart farming, where you can use bags and sacks to farm. So not having land is not an issue. But of course, can we still continue to be using hoe and machete? How much can we get? So we are talking about cultivating, and the agriculture is so much. It's not just even farming. We have animal husbandry and all of this. So let us invest more. I want to encourage our governor to invest more in agriculture. It will help us greatly. It will give employment to our youth. It will help also increase the IGR that he says he wants to increase, because we'll be getting enough food. We can even export and all of that. People will come here to buy food from us, and I mean, it will just go so well for Ndi Enugu.
Wow, it's been a nice time meeting you and chatting with you.
Thank you.
Hello viewer, thank you. It is on this very note to be drawing the curtain. Remember, it's been Aneke TV, and with me in the show has been Barrister Nnenna Anozie, a public affairs analyst. The CV is so long, so let me stop here. And she's been a wonderful and intelligent woman, and we'll be glad to have you next time. It's still me, Chinwendo Ifeonwankwo. Thanks for watching.